This episode is where I, Kanem, answer the question, what drove me to perform? This was a suggestion from our friend Polycasia17 or Constantine. We are open to suggestions, so please let us know at Instagram through a direct message or through our email, tonaldistancing@gmail.com.
Lick of the week.
My life goal right
Destroy.
now. Just destroy children prodigies that are better than me by becoming better.
Children
than
are
they
not
could
the
ever
future.
be. Yes.
That's definitely real though, because that might be a whole different episode for a different day. But like I think
us getting older and playing guitar.
Yeah,
or destroying prodigies.
Aging and playing music, because I think about age a lot as a fear I notice I have subconscious a lot about, and I think Kanem, we've talked about this, about like kind of age or stage of life or feeling that like it's very easy in music to compare yourself, and I know especially a lot of women have felt that with like the music industry and stuff. So if I feel this way, I can't imagine what other people feel like. But like even for me, I have this fear of becoming an irrelevant like dweeb and being like too old. Like I've struggled with back pain for the last week, and my fix was fixing my guitar. But I had this feeling where I was like, dude, I can't. Like, what if this is something that plagues me for the rest of my life? Or like, what if I get too tired to want to tour? What if I get too tired to want to do this? Or what if I get to a point where and those are more irrational based on like what I perceive with age and things I tie to age, because the age doesn't mean shit unless but it's just that kind of thing I think of when I see, especially Instagram. I'll open it up and I'll see that like 12-year-old kid in Indonesia who's fucking amazing, and I'm like, that's great, that's awesome, I'm not knocking it. It's just then I'm like, what
Crushes
am I?
dreams.
Yeah, I'm like, what am I? Or like bands that I know that I'm like, they're like 23 and then they're, you know.
I mean, it's funny that you say that, because I think part of it for me is I actually think consciously about aging and how maybe to age with your music, and that's one of the reasons why like I still try to every once in a while write or release a song that I feel like this is something I can play forever. Like, and I think that might be why I kind of sometimes really enjoy the blues, and there's even like just what you guys would call dead boring blues, but like just there's something simple like that.
Don't wanna fight no more.
I mean, I don't even know if I was gonna play that, but no, that's a song she could play forever. Like that's.
I mean, that song sounds like it's from the 70s,
yeah,
or the 80s, or
yeah,
timeless, yeah.
But like, I read this whole book or listened to this whole book called Perennial Seller, and by Ryan Holiday. But part of that book is like writing something that like lasts. Like, it's funny that you mentioned Queen. Like, Bohemian Rhapsody is a classic song. It has gone number one on the Billboard originally when it came out, when Wayne's World came out, and when Bohemian Rhapsody the movie came out. It's such a good song that whenever anyone just highlights it, it immediately skyrockets because it's such a fantastic song.
I think the reason for that too is how ahead of its time it was, because like I feel like it really was just this. I'm curious at the time if people fully got it, because like I've heard about those situations where like there are bands that like they have that lasting effect later because of how different they were for their time. So then it's kind of like music evolved to them, and then they became like, holy shit, this makes so much sense. But yeah, no, I mean, Bohemian Rhapsody. It's time. I think more than even what you do, a lot of that thing with the age and time is more based on your approach and outlook. Like, because I mean, it's kind of something I didn't think of. It was from Bernie Sanders when he said something about like someone asked him like, well, you're like an old dude, like why do you think people are gonna think you're relevant? And he's like, it's more about the age of your ideals than your age. And like that actually resonated. Like I thought about that. I was like, that's wow, that's really interesting to think about, because like your age and stuff doesn't dictate how your viewpoint. I think what people associate with age is sometimes a thing to be less willing to try new things or to view it. I don't ever want to get to a place where I'm like, I grew up with this, so this is what I view as right, and like if you didn't do it the way I grew up with, you're wrong and get the hell out. Like that kind of mentality, I think, is more
corrosive.
Yeah. Good word.
I mean,
corrosive.
It ages you before you are actually aged. Like when you mentioned Bernie Sanders, I think Bernie Sanders is like probably like, I think he's in his 60s the way he acts, and I know he's not. Like even like some other like some people, like I just think, oh, they're way, like Keith Richards, like I know he's probably like up there, but to me, in my mind, at most 60. Like the way he acts, that dude could be 50 some days, Yeah. But I guess what was funny, I was asking Zach about like what started him playing guitar, and maybe what started him playing instruments in general, is because when this question of first gig and what drove you to perform came up, right? It's so funny, like, because you said your mom told you like just play drums or do percussion in band because it's something that like I see you enjoying more. For me, it was my dad. It wasn't like so much I was like picking like violin. It had nothing to do with that. My brother had already played violin. I started playing violin before I even picked up or even thought of playing guitar, like in like elementary school or middle school. And then it was just, I think my dad always had this desire to be. My dad is like such a lover of music. When you talked about like we grew up in the internet age and that's how we consume music, I mostly consumed music from like CDs and DVDs. I had like live concert DVDs because like my dad would buy those sorts of things. So I was like late to like the internet game when it came to actually like even pirating. I don't think I pirated when like LimeWire was hot, and then I stopped as soon as we got a virus in our computer. So like
this shit
out,
for dude?
One day. What?
he's admitting to
FCC comes after you like 15 days
I did not. I was joking. That was a joke.
I only use
please edit it like that. Like, I was joking. That was a joke. But no, I mean, we just had CDs. But my dad is such a music fan, in particular of like 80s thrash metal, like a lot of 80s hard rock metal music, into the 90s, that he wanted to play. And I mean, the Double Cutaways is my dad's guitar, but he wanted to play in a band and do all of that. And it also kind of leaks into my playing where like I kind of overthink like image and like how you're perceived maybe a little bit too much. But he was all about like that lifestyle and music, and then he really wanted me and my brother to play music and play rock and metal and stuff and like all the stuff that he grew up on. And so, I mean, it's based. I feel like it was like a flip of the coin, really. Because my dad just set my brother up. I got the guitar, my brother got drums, and that's just what it was. And I was like, my brother got a drum kit when he was like, probably like 4 or 5 years old. So like one of those small drum kits, and literally only made noise because he didn't have lessons. So that's all my brother and I really did on it. But when it came to when I was like 10 and my brother was probably like 11, 12, he got a drum kit. I got a guitar, a knockoff J.R. Reynolds Strat, and some little Fender, probably like 10-watt amp. And my brother and I would just used to go at it in the basement. Like we had lessons for a little bit, for maybe like a year, and I think maybe like every other week for another year. So maybe like 2 years of lessons, and then ever since it's just been playing. And that's how I think it just. And sometimes I feel like it's just like naturally when you pick up these things, it's just like someday I gotta just be out there just playing something out in front of people. So I think that's one of the things that really drove me to perform, and also being linked up with my brother who played drums was just instantly like day one, not really day one, but like day 3 practice. I mean, lesson 3, we were probably practicing stuff together. I mean, definitely like, everyone's favorite riff in, Guitar Center. Definitely it was like one of the very first things I learned. A lot of that stuff, and then also I remember playing a lot of that stuff very early on, and that's just kind of what drove me to perform, and kind of his that kernel was like a big part of me just playing, and a lot of the first gigs, like very first gig was probably in my backyard for like my brother's birthday party, and we were probably just playing. Again, we were probably playing "Sweet Child of Mine," and just some other stuff. I know I was playing guitar, either our friend Mo or we had a friend Chuck, a friend Carlos that played bass and guitar and stuff. And I just remember we just probably played at like my brother's birthday party. But one of the things I always remember to this day about "Sweet Child of Mine" is that when you get to the main solo, right? I'm sure Zach knows this. It's the main solo is in E minor, so all the chords are naturally kind of in E minor. But like I didn't understand music well enough, and how it was written well enough to tell the other guitarists that that's what you play. Because I didn't learn the rhythm parts. I'm the lead guitarist. I'm just learning the leads. And so I'm like dead 100% sure I told the rhythm guitarist, play A, C, and D for the whole solo section. So I know there's
probably sound like a Buckethead Guns N' Roses solo. Just kidding, Buckethead's really good, but got him.
Oh, I'm gonna use that clip right
fine.
there. Got
That's
you to say.
fine. You're welcome. Buckethead's really good.
But
Cool.
I will say nothing else, so you can't try to piece things together and have me insult Slash.
Oh, I can figure it out. I can piece your other words together.
I hate you.
No, I think it was just the first gig, brother's birthday party in the backyard, just playing on a slab of cement. Probably just the worst audio setup ever, but I just remember I remember it felt really fun to play for the first time. I don't think I was as nervous because it's like my brother's friends or his classmates and stuff, so I didn't know them as well, so it didn't matter to me. But between that and then I think playing at we played at like our middle school talent show probably every year that I was there, so like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So like the maybe the second or the sub first gig would be like in front of everyone at the talent show, and that was just really fun. I gotta find a picture somewhere there's a picture of like me and my brother. And I don't know who the drummer was. So I think this is probably 7th grade because I don't think my brother was like in 9th grade by that point. But there's like a picture of like some kid in the audience, and like you see like through like the rock horns like to the stage, and it's like me and my brother. And it felt like the most like I don't know, one of the most youthful moments of my life. But yeah, the first gigs are what drove me to perform.
This week we have Shu doing our outro for us, so check out the details below, and we'll put it on the screen. But check him out. He's a great guitarist. He plays for Union Fool as a guitarist, and he does some of his own stuff as well. So check him out. Thanks for watching the show, and tune in next time. Feel free to reach out to Tonal Distancing. DM or email us tonaldistancing@gmail.com. If you have an intro or outro or something you want us to show us and you want us to plug into the show, just reach out to us. We're happy to work with you. So again, Tonal Distancing, DM us, email us at Tonal Distancing. We're happy to throw you in the intro or the outro. We want to work with more guitarists and hear your skills. I know we have some, but we know that you have more. So feel free to reach out to us. Thanks.
This is from take 7222. This section is from a song that I wrote a long time ago called Whiskey, Weed and Wendy.